Hello, group. Welcome to Action Right Corner. I'm your host, Richard May. Today, it's the Action Right Corner YouTube Music Shuffle program, where I hit the shuffle button on my YouTube Music likes, my almost 5,000 YouTube Music likes. Hit the shuffle button, and YouTube, with a bias to knowing what I like, really like, I listen to 50 songs on shuffle, and lots of AC/DC, lots of Motorhead. But this is the 50 I listened to, and I'm not going to go through the whole 50. I'm going to talk about 9 songs that is worthwhile to tell you about, and you go listen to them too, because, they're great. You love Stairway to Heaven, except it's done by Frank Zappa. The closing song of this great set, the greatest band you never heard in your life. Great set if you don't have it. Yeah, Stairway to Heaven. You'll have a bit of reggae to it. Very cool. Excellent. As you know, Zappa would do it excellently. Speaking of that reggae touch, later, Led Zeppelin came out, doing reggae versions of Led Zeppelin songs, with another twist. Elvis is singing. Fat Elvis, the Las Vegas years. Elvis is doing the singing. If you don't hear Led Zeppelin, they do a great version of Stairway to Heaven as well, in reggae. Saw him live. I saw Led Zeppelin live. They ended with Stairway to Heaven. It was killer. How's that for a start? Go listen to Frank Zappa to Stairway to Heaven. YouTube gave me 5 of the 50 songs they gave me. 5 of them was from Turbonegro. As well it should. I love Turbonegro. I'm not going to talk about Turbonegro every time I do a shuffle show, because I can talk about what AC/DC they gave me in every show. I can talk about what Motorhead they give me in every show. Give me 5. They gave me Get It On live with Sylvester singing. Denim Demon, All My Friends Are Dead live. And Are You Ready for Some Darkness? All great songs from records like this one. I'm not going to talk about that. What got me going? And this may be a song maybe you don't like as much as I do. Or album you don't like as much as I do. Retox. The last record with Hank Van Hell. The original singer. Maybe not the original singer, but the classic singer. Hank Van Hell. Remember this record? It is a good record. The problem with it is there's 3 songs that turned this into a Weird Al Yankovic record. Hell to Pay. No snide remarks. Hell to Pay. Yeah, like I don't wear. What's the other song? Everyone Loves a Chubby Dude. And the song I'm going to talk about, What is Rock? Which is kind of a takeoff on an original Weird Al Yankovic song. Weird Al has done several original, drawn-out songs that last, it goes on for, 6, 7, 8 minutes, whatever. What comes to mind is Albuquerque. But What is Rock is a commentary on the modern state of rock and roll by Hank Van Hal and Turbonegro. It's a little bit Dr. Demento-ish. Those 3 songs turned this into a little bit of a Dr. Demento thing. The other songs are all great, traditional Turbonegro songs. I'm trying to find I Wanna Come and I'm Off a Mail and Welcome to the Garbage Dump. All of those, Stroke the Shaft, those are all great songs. Traditional, Boys from Nowhere, all of those are pretty much traditional. What do you expect from a Turbonegro record? But like I said, the 3 songs I named, Hell to Pay, Everyone Loves a Chubby Dude, and What is Rock, it slid into Weird Al. I love Weird Al Yankovic. So there's no shade from me when I say it sounds like Weird Al Yankovic. I love Weird Al. I love Turbonegro. I love this record. I hear why, for some people, no names please, may not love this record as much as the other Turbonegro records. But What is Rock, I love. I love that song. Go hear it again. You may love it too. Love my Turbonegro. I'm a Judas Priest. I got a nice sized Judas Priest section of CDs. Fairly complete. Lacking a few of the 21st century albums. But of the classic 80s, 90s, 70s, 80s, 90s, I'm pretty complete. Even the stuff with Tim Ripper Owens. I got that. My first 2 Judas Priest records, like many people in America, was British Steel and the follow-up, Point of Entry. I love Point of Entry. And YouTube gave me On the Run. I love the song On the Run. Great song. It's only in the last few years when I became subscribed and a follower of Sea of Tranquility, another music YouTube channel. Sea of Tranquility and the hip cats there, as I watched them talk about Judas Priest. They talk about this being a commercial, or 2 commercial, a Judas Priest album. I hear what they're saying. In a way. I love this record. Did I do a ranking of Judas? If I did, it would be between British Steel and this for my favorite. And it would depend on my mood. Most days, it's this one is my favorite Judas Priest record. Maybe the commercial aspect is what I love about it. Maybe. I love this record. When I was still working full-time, in charge of the music, bless her heart, you heard this record a lot. Love Point of Entry, love On the Run. Oh, I misplaced some stuff. Where is it? Ah, here it is. Here we go. A few weeks ago, or a week ago. That wasn't that long ago. Go to the library. Talking to, well, they have, stuff they take out of circulation. They sell it off, for pocket change. Books, magazines, CDs, DVDs, for $0.25. I overpaid. I was generous. See, this is why you pay $0.25. Okay, now you can see what it is. Blue cheer. 21st century blue cheer. And of course, when I turn my head, you see the last blue cheer record up there. Okay. Love me some blue cheer. And, oh, here we go. Still with a thing on it. That's the record. And of course, I'm talking to the kid, 40. Whatever his age is. Maybe he's in his 30s. I don't think he's in his 20s anymore. Stafford. And I say, hey, he kind of takes care of what's on sale. And I mentioned, hey, you got some CDs, and I found the new Blue Cheer. He didn't know who Blue Cheer was. He knows classic rock. He likes the Doors, whatever. And it's like, what, you don't know Blue Cheer? Where's my other Blue Cheer? I picked it up. Ah, there it is, at the floor. There's the classic record, among a couple of others. He didn't know who Blue Cheer is. Maybe you don't know who Blue Cheer is, or was. We have the records. It's is. Tiki Peterson and whoever's with him. Blue Cheer was among the first, well, especially Blue Cheer, was the first really heavy band to come out in 1968. You gotta remember, 1968. There was no Led Zeppelin yet. No Black Sabbath. Yeah, Sabbath and Led Zeppelin was getting together in 68, but they didn't release anything until 69. Blue Cheer was out there, freaking people out with the song that I heard, and it was a TV clip. They actually got on TV with this. Their cover of Summertime Blues. Lots of people have done covers of Summertime Blues. Eddie Cochran, right? And, the kid who, just wants to goof around on a summer vacation, he can't. He has to go work. Make money for his car. So, he's got the Summertime Blues. And Blue Cheer was the first one to really fuzz out the guitar all the time. Really reverb and, really fuzz it up and make it heavy as hell. Blue Cheer. Now, there were other bands in 68 doing something kind of heavy, before Zeppelin, before Sabbath. Ardent Butterfly, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. That was heavy as hell for 68. Steppenwolf, Born to Be Wild. That freaked people out. That was heavy as hell. Of course, Hendrix. Anything by Hendrix they released by 68. That freaked people totally out. Hell, Clapton and Townsend, they saw Hendrix and went, we don't know how to do that. Even the Beatles had a heavy song. Helter Skelter, right? So, You talk about heavy songs in '68. This freaked people out. Blue Cheer. Yeah, compared to those other songs I just named, okay, Hendrix is a league above. He's in a class by himself. But Steppenwolf, Arm Barfly, and one song by the Beatles freaked people out. And now people forget who Blue Cheer is. Problem was, Blue Cheer tried to sell out. You know, the record company kind of forced them. And, you know, they get together and they, whatever. You know, in the 21st century, they had some nice, you know, newer records. They were cool, but never reclaimed their place in history as the first to really freak people out with that guitar and, you know, just being heavy as hell. That freaked out those hippies. Summertime Blues. And the first two Blue Cheer albums. You know, Eruptus and whatever else. Good stuff. Go check it out. You'll break to say thank you. Our friends at KIF. Knowledge is for Fools. Gave them a good review for this fine album. Sent me a care package. You'll be seeing this behind my head in the near future. I asked for this. I said, hey, I would love to have this because, you know, I can't find it in a store. I know I can go, you know, order it online like everyone else. That's why I have a home. I don't buy stuff online. Because I would just spend all my money online and I have no money left to eat. God's Fest. The memorial concert for Eric Moore of the Gods. Great live set. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Punk Offshoot for KIF. Yeah. Good record. 7 years old, too late to review, but yeah, let that count. That's cool. So, what's the title of this thing again? Don't want to do my laundry. Did say I'm going to save. I saved at least one song. May save another from that and talk about it in the future before we die. He also sent this. The Rule Breakers Ball, 2019. That just came out recently. I reserve the right to review it. The mix, I just have to get used to it. It's still in the stereo. That's why it's not behind me yet. These three are still in my stereo. So I'm still checking this out. I'm checking all three of them out. When I have a moment where I want to listen to my stereo instead of finding something new to review for you guys. But yeah, some cool bands in this Rule Breakers Ball. One not cool band, but we won't mention why. Not because of the music, they're not cool. Alright? But yeah, Anti-Scene. Sorry guys, I can't read backwards. And I don't have a list of bands here. I don't have the CD case to cheat on that. That's still at my stereo. So yeah, Anti-Scene and Jethro Skull. I love that band name. That's cool as hell. And KIF, of course, opens the second night. You get both highlights of both nights of the Rule Breakers Ball. Yeah, pretty cool rock and roll. Just the mix is not what you expect. It's okay, but it's not what you expect. So I'm getting used to the mix, and I gotta listen all the way through to make certain, okay, this is cool. Because, you know, I prefer all killer, no filler. Okay, back to what I listened to. you may notice that I reviewed this. Thelma and the Sleaze. 8 Country. Call it folk instead. Thelma and the Sleaze are a lesbian band that does traditional 70s hard rock. You know, boogie and southern rock and soul. They're great. But this is not a traditional Thelma and the Sleaze record. It's, you know, they are from Nashville, Tennessee, in the United States. Home, you know, the capital of country music. And so it's, if you're not going to call it country, it's folk then. But I'm not going to say it today. I'm going to censor myself today. I said it before. They're great. All about being a lesbian. And it's a viewpoint you don't hear in the normal world. You know, in the, you know, ABC, CBS, whatever world, in the mainstream world. And they've been around for years. But I only been doing this for a year now, where I'm really doing a deep dive in finding bands. There's a lot of bands out there. Cool bands. I'm looking for you guys. Go find me, okay? You got a band, tell me about it. If you're cool. If you don't suck. This is your latest record. I did listen to this on Bandcamp because I was waiting for it to see if it was going to be on YouTube. It's only on Bandcamp. It's not typical Thelma and the Sleaze either. It's just her and a drummer. Lauren Gilbert, LG. You're cool, Lauren. This is more of a document if you're already a Thelma and Sleaze fan, because it's a 2-0 thing. It's her guitar and the drummer, the guy drummer, in Iowa, doing a gig. It is not, those 2 records are not traditional Thelma and the Sleaze. I decided when I went, because this and this ain't country folk thing are my introduction to Thelma and the Sleaze. That's not what Thelma and the Sleaze really is. They are a traditional 70s, you know, boogie, southern rock band with 5 people playing, you know, with a keyboard player, Thelma on guitar, you know. Is there really, did I say 5? Whatever the number is. And they rock real good. So I went on YouTube in frustration going, I do not know what Thelma and the Sleaze sound like. I have time. I'm going to go take a few minutes and hear real Thelma and the Sleaze. And I found a playlist of live Thelma and the Sleaze. And I kept a few of the things, you know, for my shuffle. And it played me Hot Steam, which is hard boogie 70s. It's great. And it's her set ender. You know, it's the end of the show. Okay, here's my best shot. Hot Steam. Damn good song. And that, if you see Lauren Gilbert and her band, when she's with a band, that's what you get. And I want to see that. But remember, it's a lesbian band. Yeah, her and the band is not looking sexy and pretty for you guys. It's for the young women in the audience. So, be on your best behavior. Be politically correct. That and Thunder Pussy, another lesbian band that plays traditional 70s rock, and they're great at it too, in a different vein. You know, they're more Fleetwood Mac and Jefferson Airplane and that, Tillman and the Sleaze is, a bit more countryfied, more country influence, but still hard rock, boogie, and it's good stuff. And so go investigate. Just go into YouTube and just look around and go, okay, is there something for me here? Tillman and the Sleaze. Good stuff. I have to say this slowly. I'm half Polish. I can say 4-syllable words. I have to be careful. I put this in my lap so I can really read it easily. Alejandro Escofendo. Was that close? He's great. This is a good record. This is a good record. He has quite a few really good records. But the song I heard, this song I didn't appreciate as much. It's a little downer. This one. I forgot to note what you can read it, can't you? A Man Under the Influence. So some of the songs are a little bit of a downer for me on this record. But one song is his classic. The classic song by him. That song is Castanets. And the version I saw, there's a number of versions out there of live castanets. It's the version he played for Austin City Limits, a show that's on NPR, NPR, PBS in America, public broadcasting that's under fire by the current regime in America. So he played a set for Austin City Limits. He did castanets. Absolutely brilliant. Great riff. Kind of a pop song. But don't let that definition throw you. It rocks. It's a hell of a riff. Hell of a lyric. Singing by a hell of a girl. Where's this girl? Where's this woman? Whatever it is. Female. Show me a picture, Alejandro. What do you want from me? I got 3 syllables total in my name. Okay? He's got 8. Even being half Polish, that's a test for me. So, Castanets is great. You have not heard the song, Castanets. Write down his name. Freeze frame. It's a great song. If you have to hear it before you die. Castanets. Absolutely. Drop dead. You have to hear Castanets before you die. You have not lived because it came out around 2000. So in 21st century, early 21st century, music, rock music, you haven't heard Castanets. Alejandro Escovedo. I didn't come close. You haven't lived. You have to hear it once. Castanets. Absolutely brilliant song. Brilliant. As brilliant as the woman he's singing about. Whoever she is. Absolutely brilliant song. Remember White Girl? You know? That 90s old girl band or girl-fronted bands. You had Bikini Girl, and Joan Jett was the mother of the whole movement, and some cool bands in there. L7, Babes in Toyland, cool bands. Throw in Lunatics. From this record, Light as a Feather. Great song. Great band. Punkish. But also hard rock. Which means it's action rock, right? If you're hard rock and you're kind of punkish, you're action rock. You're in the chicks. Good album. I love this album. Light as a Feather. Oh. Okay. Going to talk about 2 albums I reviewed recently. Sons of Cobra. Finnish from Finland. Action rock. This is action rock. Boy, howdy, is it action rock. Snake Appeal by Sons of Cobra. Their debut record just came out recently. Absolutely hot record. Saved a bunch of those songs from that record. One they played for me was City of Pain. That's cool. Preparing for this episode, I went ahead and re-listened to some of the bands I'm talking about and listened to the 4 or 5 songs I saved from that record. Absolutely great stuff. Meathead is especially great. I know I also mentioned it in the year-end review from New Year's Day. You have to hear. If you like action rock, you're here for action rock, highly recommended. Sons of Cobra, their debut record. They had singles before, formed in 2019, but they just released this record. Absolutely killer. You gotta hear it. Brilliant record. Oh, excuse me. Okay, time to finish up. The new Dictators record came out sometime last year, right? About a year ago. Great record. I think I saved 8 of the 10 songs, something like that. Yeah, 10 songs. I saved 8 of them. Absolutely great stuff here. Let's get the band back together. My imaginary friend. They got, what's his name again? I wrote it down. Albert Burchard from Blue Oyster Cult. Hasn't been in Blue Oyster Cult in a while. So he's on some of the reunion concerts to celebrate 50 years of them or them. Albert joins the band to play, and of course they get a new lead singer. Yes, we love Handsome Dick Manitoba. I reviewed his EP. You all want to know about how that EP was. It's a great EP by Handsome Dick, back on Broadway. That's his EP. But yeah, Handsome Dick is not in the Dictators anymore. It's Keith Roth. And Keith Roth released a solo record. It was pretty cool. And Electric 3000, I forget the name. Frankenstein 3000. That's the name of his, former band, current, whatever other project that is. So Keith Roth is the singer for the Dictators. Oh, some great songs. Goddamn New York is a great song. Wicked Cold Disguise. Thank You, Have a Nice Day is great. All of this is really good. And the song, Really Good. They have a song called Really Good is really good. Is it? I chose that phrase and they have a song called that. Go figure. The song they played for me on my YouTube Music Shuffle was Sweet Joey, which is the song that ends this fine self-titled record. Yes, it is self-titled. Sweet Joey is about Joey Ramone, the late great Joey Ramone. And so it's there you'll tribute to Sweet Joey Ramone. And it's a really nice song. It's a little bit popish and sweet, but it rocks too. And I think if you ever heard this Dictators record, if you think you like the Dictators, and you should, this is could be my favorite Dictators record. I expect it to be my favorite. Is everything fresh in my head of the Dictators catalog? Sure, I like Dictators. But I don't think anything really touches this. This is probably, could well be the best Dictators record. So you think you like the Dictators with Ross the Boss and the guy who really writes the songs, Andy. It's a great record. Really great record. Great record. That's what I got for you. Took too long. I try to get this under a half hour, but I love this stuff, so I have to carry on. Gotta carry on a little bit, because this is the stuff I really love. You heard that in between all the words, right? In my inflection, I love this stuff. This stuff is really good. If you like this video, give it a like. Subscribe to Action Rock Corner. Ring the notification bell. Go leave a comment. Go listen to some of this stuff and come back. And what do you think? And, what's some of your stuff that comes up when you press your shuffle button for your YouTube likes? What comes up? What's the stuff that comes up when you press your button? Share. Don't boycott your favorites. Share, will you? Relays in action rock, garage rock, punk, psychobilly, rockabilly, stoner, industrial sometimes. If it rocks, we're in for it. It's here with Action Rock and classic and legacy bands. It's how I hook you into watching this, and I always put up the legacy bands and hope it hooks you into watching this. Because you guys don't know Sons of Cobra yet. Go hear that. Go hear the new Dictators. Hear Thelma and the Sleaze. They've been around for a while. It's great stuff. I gotta investigate more Thelma and the Sleaze when I'm in between reviews and doing this. A lot of music out there to discover. Thank you for watching. See you again soon. Bye.